Welcome to the Real Solar Podcast. I'm Legacy.
And I'm Cesar Delgadillo.
And we keep it real. So today we are going to be talking about getting paid. When do we get paid, bro? How does this work?
So, I mean, it's funny that a lot of people that are coming into the industry is like, dude, I hear there's a lot of money on solar, but you have to wait so long to get paid. And so we're going to break it down and so that we can talk about how that's really not the case.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to wait long to get paid, and you can start compounding something where within your first 90 days, you can be thriving. And so we can dive into explaining that, in detail so that we can paint a picture, not just for you. If you're listening to this, you might say, oh, I already know how to get paid. Well, yeah, but maybe this is a concept you got to teach your people. So you got to stop having issues with people that join the team is I haven't got paid. I was expecting this and I didn't get that. So let's talk about the pay so that we can have a full understanding of it and how to position everybody to thrive.
Yeah, and it works different with a lot of different companies. The way that it's set up with us is you close a deal this week. The following Friday, you're going to get $1,000 up front.
If everything checks off.
Right.
That's a big if. Because that's the thing. A lot of people want to just run with that. Like, oh, I sold it, so next Friday I should get it. Well, that's only if it's approved by the EPC, by our install partner.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're not approved because they go out there, they wanted to do a site survey, and the customer wasn't home. So guess what? We had to reschedule the site survey to the following week. So is it going to be paid out that Friday? Nope, because number one, we have to have a site survey done. We have to have any stipulations from the utility company taken or the finance company taken care of, right? And then it's approved by our install partner. Until then, the following Friday after it's approved, then that's when we get paid.
Yep.
So sometimes it would be, a span of, 2 to 3 weeks from getting that up front.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the main thing we got to understand, because, people start calling and all scared. Oh, man, I was supposed to get paid. I sold 2 deals last week. Where's my upfronts? Where's my, $2,000 for those 2 deals? Well, like, hang on. Those 2 deals are not even approved yet.
Yeah.
One of those deals is not even completed yet. Right.
Yeah.
So you got to understand that it only happens when it's approved by our installer. And as soon as we get it, you get it. We're not holding back cash just to hold it back. Like, so if you didn't get paid, that's because we didn't get paid.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then that's the first phase. And then the second payment, which is the remaining balance, gets paid a week after installation, correct?
Yes, that's the Friday after the week of installation. And so that's more consistent, because then it's like it's installed. It's there. It's not this Friday, but the following Friday after that.
So now this is where it gets to the technical aspect of how you're approaching your payments, how you're approaching the money, the cash flow that's coming in. Because a lot of the time somebody gets a deal, counts how much money there is, and it's like, well, dude, that pays all my bills. Like, I'm good then. I don't have to work for the rest of the month, for the next 2 months, whatever. And what you should be doing is compounding all your efforts. You have upfront payments as long as everything checks off. So if you set a goal, I need $10,000 a month to live and to pay for my stuff, and so I'm good. You know that you're getting an upfront for every deal that you close. So if you can put yourself in the mindset of, I'm going to live off of my upfronts, I'm going to do a 90-day run, and all I'm going to focus on is to make sure I'm hitting my target, I'm hitting the amount of money I need, and I'm getting all that upfront, to the point where you even forget that there's installation money coming, because it's going to get to the point where your compounded efforts, you're going to have upfronts coming in, and guess what? 2 installations happen that week. So now you got a 5-figure check coming in. Like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, that's where it gets real. And that's where you go from potentially starting out surviving to maintaining to, by 3 months into it, you should be thriving. If you really put it in the work every single day and you're treating it like a job, like you're showing up every single day to work. What happens, people don't show up every day to work. They half-ass it. they bullshit, they do everything else besides get to work, and then they go back home talking about I've been working all day, but realistically they put 2 or 3 hours at best into actual work, right? But if you're actually going out there and working 6-8 hours a day, meaning you're either prospecting or doing a presentation, those are the only 2 real money making activities: prospecting or doing a presentation. If you're not doing one of those, don't stop. Have a timer. You know, you should actually do that. And when you're prospecting, knocking doors, doing presentations, at events, doing all that stuff, have the timer running. When you're not prospecting, turn off the time, pause it. And then when you're presenting a deal to somebody, turn on the time again. And when you look at the end of the day, that's the time you actually worked. Some of you guys are putting in half an hour worth of quality time, money making opportunity, and then wondering why you're not making the big checks. Well, you're not really working. You're just pretending. You're faking it. You're not real about your concept of I'm a solar energy analysis, whatever you want to call it, right? Everybody wants to call it something different. If you're an energy consultant, whatever it is that you want to call yourself, do it for real. Put in that time, and you're either prospecting or presenting. If you do that for 90 days, your first 90 days, after that, you'll be thriving. Why? Because just what you were talking about, Legacy, after a few weeks, see, your first month could be a little tight, because we all know that solar takes at least 30 days to get installed on average, right? And even more than that. I tell people 6 to 8 weeks to get installed. If it happens quicker, then great. If it takes a little longer, then oh well. It's not a big deal. That's how I treat it. That's how I look at it. A lot of people want to whine and complain about timelines. When you have a construction company and you can install solar fast, you can let us know how you're doing it. If not, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear about how quick your other installer, there's a reason you're not there anymore. Right? They messed up somewhere. They broke a promise somewhere. So I don't want to hear about how quickly they're installing, because half of the time is just a bunch of bullshit.
And it's that separation.
So give realistic expectations, 6 to 8 weeks, right? Again, if it takes longer, oh well, you still keep that communication. If it's faster, then great. But then in your first month, in your first 2 months, like after 2 months in the business, you're going to have all those first week installs coming. The first deals you sold your first week, they're going to be getting installed by then. And then week number 9, you got some more installs. Week number 10, you got some more installs coming in. But that's only if you kept pouring in the pipeline week after week after week after week. So by your 3rd month, you're getting 2-3 installs the same week. Plus you sold another deal or 2 and you're getting upfronts from that. Realistically, dude, it took me like probably 3 deals. And to be honest, I don't even know if I ever took an upfront when I first started. Maybe 2 or 3 deals, and I said, no, I don't want this upfront shit. I got to be man enough myself that I only take what I actually earn. That means when the glass is actually up on the roof, because that upfront money is fool's gold, man. And so luckily I was in a position where I didn't need any of the upfronts, and I just got my full payment at the end. Right? Everyone should thrive to be in that position, to be honest with you, because now you don't have to worry about like getting any money that you actually earn charged back later, because if you get upfronts and they cancel, guess what happens? You're going to have to pay that back through your next deal. Right? So those are the sides of the business where, like, as soon as you can get out of that situation, if you already have $100,000 in the bank, like I know some people in this business do, and then they're still wanting their M1s, like they're upfront $1,000 for a deal, for what? You don't need it. Just wait to get the full install, right? But for those that need it upfront because they're getting started and they left their old job and they're counting on that money to keep going, then it's crucial that you get deals your first week. It's crucial that you get deals every single week for the first 3 months, if you want to be in a position of thriving and seeing the full benefits, financial benefits that it can do for you and your family through this industry. If not, if you sell a deal, 3 weeks into your business, you sold 1 deal, and then you don't sell anything else for another 3 weeks. And then you sell 1 more deal like 6 weeks later after that. And then in 2 months, 3 months, you've only sold 2 deals. Then it's going to be painful, man. Like it's like anything else, but it's not painful because not because there's not money in it. It's painful because you're not productive.
The activity level isn't there. And
then they'll blame it all. Like, oh man, we take so long to get paid. Dude, you've sold 1 deal in 17 weeks.
And, it's realistic to get deals your first week, because that should be your prime week.
Well, you have your whole warm market.
That should
coming
be
in. You should talk.
Mom, dad, uncle.
Get your phone out. Get your social media like contacts. Like you should have at least 100 homeowners on there.
Yeah.
And if not, you need more friends.
Yeah. And pushing it. Don't be afraid to share a business that you started now, because now you're independent contractor. You're starting your own solar business. Don't be afraid to present that opportunity to everybody you know. And then out of everybody you know, who do they know? And a lot of what you were touching on as far as like making sure that you're measuring that activity and making sure that you're actually producing. The fact is, you can lie to the world, but you can't lie to yourself. That's the worst thing you can do, is lie to yourself, because results, they don't lie. You don't have to tell me about what you're going to do. You don't have to tell me about what you did. I'm going to see what you did. People around you are going to see what you've done. So let your actions speak for themselves. Make sure that you're not lying to yourself. You're not lying to people around you. It's not going to benefit you at all.
Time will promote you or expose you.
Mm-hmm.
And we might not say nothing, but we know you're full of shit. You know, if you're going to come at us with, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it. Like Legacy said, we don't need to hear about it. We just need to see it. Yeah. Everybody's going to see it. Yeah. Right? We're playing major league ball and everybody's watching.
Yep.
So you don't got to tell us about it. Let's just go out and do it.
Yeah. Don't pretend to build the skill sets. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's a lot of work. You have to put in the work. It's not easy. Don't lie to yourself. Don't pretend like you're doing a lot of things. Don't pretend like you're putting up numbers, because that's not going to benefit you internally anyway. You have to develop a specific skill set.
And having a plan. Mm-hmm. And knowing that within that plan, you have to build a skill set. A plan of education needs to be in place. Sharpening your axe every single day to get better. Be in front of more people so you can get better, right? Mm-hmm. Go do 10 presentations. Yeah. You might not close any of them. Mm-hmm. Go do 10 more. Now I guarantee you're going to be a lot better. You're probably going to at least close one. And then you go do 10 more. Now you're in presentation number 30. You're going to be way better off on presentation number 31 than you were in presentation number 1 through 5. But people don't have the patience. People want that instant gratification. They want to go talk to 5 people and they want to go sell 6 deals, and they don't have the patience to go through the process so that they can actually get better, so that you can get to the point where you're closing 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, right? And then people want to work with you and say, hey, Legacy, instead of me closing my own deals, bro, I'd rather just go with you because I'm only 1 out of 10. You're 5 out of 10. If I go introduce you to 5 people, you're going to go close 5. That's 2.5 deals for me versus 1 deal for me if I would go do it by myself. Right. But you're only going to get that kind of respect in the office if you're putting up those kind of numbers. If not, then then we're just kidding ourselves, right? So,
and part of the education, it's not reading about it. It's not learning and going through all these courses. That's a portion of it. It's the experience that you need to build. You need to go and practice what you've learned. You need to expose yourself to those situations so you know how to respond. You have to build that confidence over and over and over again. So when someone new comes and they're watching you, they're like, dude, how did you know what to say? Like that, everything they said, you had a response for it because you've done it 100 times. You keep doing it.
And going back a little bit to the plan, the plan that I like to have with everybody, the game plan is, hey, how much money do you need to make every single month, no matter what, just to survive? Mm-hmm. And some people might be 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, whatever that number is. I write that number down. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's just call it 5,000. Somebody needs $5,000 to survive. And then I say, okay, times 3, so that we can have a 90-day cushion. You need 15,000. Okay, cool. So how much money do you have right now in your bank account? And I'll ask that question. And sometimes, it's best to be completely transparent. If you're really trying to get coached, and if you really want to work with somebody that can help you get out of survival mode, to take you to maintenance mode, to take you to thriving mode, so that we can scale up your situation, you got to be real with us, right? You got to let us know, like, listen, dude, I got 5 G's in my bank account right now. That's it. So it's like, okay, cool. Well, congratulations. Most people don't even have that. So don't feel bad about that. 5 G's, dude, we only have 30 days. So we don't have that 90-day cushion. How can we get you that 90-day cushion? Well, we need to make $10,000 before you spend those 5. So this is what we got to do. We got to, in the next 30 days, since you already have 5,000 that will take care of the next 30, we need to make 15. Why? Because now, instead of being on survival mode, now that you know you have at least 15,000 in the pipeline coming in, your attitude and your posture out in the marketplace is a lot better, knowing you got a 90-day window. Think about it, man. If you're like, dude, by Friday, I owe $2,500 by Friday, and I only got $600 in my bank account, and it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be very productive working like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're going to be trying to, instead of going and prospecting for solar, you're going to be at your friend's house seeing if you can mow his lawn, or if you can do some other stuff to make some money just for now until I have enough money for Friday, and then figure something out. And then you're kicking the can down the road, when instead of focusing on solar, you're trying to figure out how to pay your bills, and it's not the right focus. You need to get out of the focus of like, I need money. Everybody that's always in the need for money and talking about, I don't have enough and I'm broke and this and this and this and that, guess what? They tend to stay that way. Mm-hmm. Because that's where their focus is at.
Yeah.
So that's why for me, it's so crucial when people are like, if people are like, dude, I have, $30,000 in my bank account right now, and my bills are like 5,000. I'm like, awesome, dude. You got a 6-month window. Don't make any huge investments right now. You're starting a new chapter in your life. You're starting that money. Instead of saying, I got this extra money to buy myself this or buy myself that because I got 30,000 in the bank and I only need 500 for the month. Mm-hmm. No, you got 30,000 for the next 6 months. Go give that money to your wife. Make sure the next 6 months are paid for.
Yeah.
Why? Because now you can just fully focus and completely engage in growing your business instead of figuring out where your next paycheck's going to be. So that we don't want to be in survival mode, mm-hmm. right? We want to take you to the mode where now you have 1, 2, 3 installs coming in every week, 1 or 2 M2s coming in every week, and you have a consistent flow of installs, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $40,000 a week coming in from the activity. That's thriving, mm-hmm. right? And everybody, no matter how bad your situation is, everybody should be there within their first 90 days.
Yeah.
And it's possible.
Yeah. And having that plan, because what you focus on grows. And what you were talking about, people that are focused on they're broke and they don't have enough money, and that's their focus, that problem is going to grow. If you shift your focus to the solution, to the plan, to where you're trying to shoot, that will start to grow.
Yeah. And the worst part is when they're in that situation and then they start blaming it on install times. It's like, dude, how are you blaming install times on you being broke?
Yeah.
On your horrible decisions leading up to this mm-hmm. point in your life. Now you're saying that the reason you're in that situation is because of the installs taking so long. Like, come on, man. Come on, let's keep it real.
Take responsibility.
Yeah, everybody else is working with the same install mm-hmm. times, and there's other people thriving. Why aren't you?
Yeah.
So don't put the blame on anything else mm-hmm. besides having a solid game plan, understanding what it takes to be a professional in this business, have that work ethic that it takes, right? Don't pretend that you're working hard when you're really not. Time will promote you or expose you, and just stay focused on getting the deal mm-hmm. done, taking care of your clients, mm-hmm. and you'll be in a really good situation soon. Before mm-hmm. just you just stay focused ahead, and next thing you know, you look up and you're like, oh shit, this is what it's like to thrive.
Yeah, and you're not going to get anywhere if you don't have direction. If you don't have a specific target that you're hitting, if you don't have a route that you're taking. It's like having GPS. Somebody throws you in Los Angeles and gives you a sticky note with an address, says find it. First thing you're going to do is put it on your GPS. You need direction. You need to find out specifically where you're going. If not, you're going to be wandering. You're going to be looking for it. You're not going to have a direction to go. Like, there's no way to hit a target if you're not visualizing the road you need to take. Absolutely. Now, in life, every time you wake up, every single day is a new opportunity to hit the targets that you want. And this is not just in solar. This is in everything in your life. You have the opportunity to keep shooting. You have a target in front of you and you're aiming directly at it. Unlimited ammunition as long as you wake up and you can continue to shoot at it. Odds are sooner or later you're going to hit it. But if you're blindfolded, spin you around and ask you to shoot, you're probably not going to hit the target. It doesn't matter how much ammunition you have. It doesn't matter how many opportunities you have. With no aim, with no direction, it doesn't matter how much you shoot. You need to slow down and identify exactly where you're going. What are you going to do with this business? What responsibility level are you at? Because again, don't fall in love with just the results. Don't fall in love with the money, with the things that come after the responsibilities are met. Make sure that your focus is in the right direction and you're focused on the responsibilities that it takes to actually accomplish those goals. You're not going to do it without it. You cannot skip steps.
Yep. And the last thing I got to say about pay, whatever you commit to paying a rep on your team, whatever you commit to paying a client, referrals, make sure you pay it out.
Yeah.
Strategic partners, don't short change them later because, oh man, we didn't get as much as I thought we were going to get. No, if you said you were going to give them a $500 referral, give them a $500 referral. If you were going to do something for it, do it, execute it. You know, you don't want to be the guy that flakes out and you start being known to be that guy. You know, so just follow through on all the commitments, especially when it comes about money, because people will remember that. If you promise something to somebody and they didn't get it, then
you're burning your bridges.
You're burning your bridges. Is not going to be good for you long term. So it's important to not just understand the money, how to manage it for ourselves, but when we have those commitments with others, remember they got bills to pay as well. So make sure you meet those expectations that you set out and you set up yourself, because we hear about it all the time, right? That somebody promised this to a client, promised that to a new representative, and they come in and they didn't get it, right? That's the worst thing you can do, because that's going to come back around and bite you. So just with that said, I mean, just be responsible with your money, stick with your commitments, and we're here to thrive.
Well, there you have it. I'm Legacy.
And I'm Cesar Delgadillo.
And we keep it real.